And now, in studio, bringing his Midwest values from the Show Me State to the land of San Diego. He's a triple threat, licensed as an attorney, mortgage broker, and a top producing realtor who's crushing the competition. Here to deliver you what's happening in the trenches of the market. Your host, Michael Gaddis.
So we're going to bring Rick Caruso. He's here with us right now. Rick?
Yes.
Oh, thank you for joining the Michael Gaddis Show today. I really appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to come and talk to us.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it very much.
Well, I was kind of, before you got on the air here, I was kind of talking a little bit about the Agua Hedionda project, the 8515 Plan Measure A. And I know you're the one in charge of, creating an outdoor kind of promenade and open space on a parcel of land there. Why did you choose Carlsbad, and what is your vision for what this plan will look like?
Well, I have been looking in North San Diego County for a long, long time, and we were able to find this property. The property that we're building on, about 27 acres, has been zoned commercial since 1982 along the I-5. And we were able to structure a deal with the utility to buy the property. And then as our team was working on it, we came up with a big idea. And the big idea was, not only can we build something really special in terms of a retail and a dining center like we do, a community center like we've done in other parts of Southern California, but we have an opportunity to buy the whole 203 acres that San Diego Gas and Electric owned and put together a plan that was really driven by the residents of Carlsbad. And what the residents of Carlsbad have told us over the last 4 years of us working on this project is they really love their open space, and if we could create more open space, they would be thrilled. They love their lagoon, and they want it protected. And they love the strawberry farming. It's been part of Carlsbad for 60 years, and they want to ensure that strawberry farming stays. So the total project is the 203 acres. The 27 acres, we're going to build this beautiful outdoor center. And then 176 acres, we are going to literally improve, bring back to its natural habitat. It's private property today. You can't go on it. It's restricted. Bring it back to its natural habitat. Build 3 miles of trails on the property, an outdoor classroom, and then we're going to gift it and transfer the deed to a land conservancy selected by the city or the state of California and give it to public use forever and fund it into perpetuity so that it's at no cost to the public. And then part of that will be putting in all the systems to protect the lagoon from stormwater runoff, et cetera, so the lagoon gets protected. And we've also cut a deal with Jimmy, the strawberry farming company, that allows him to stay in business for generations to come, which we're thrilled and he's thrilled. And that's the project that we're extremely excited about.
Well, let me ask you a question. Did you really meet with more, thousands of residents and community leaders and incorporate their feedback? Did you really do that?
Oh, we did that. We opened an office down here 4 years ago, and we do that with every project. We start out and we don't design a thing until we meet with thousands of people and ask them what they want and what they don't want. We met with the mayor, the city council, and the staff. And everybody was very clear on what they wanted and what they didn't want. And what the mayor said to us, Mayor Hall, he said, listen, Carlsbad is a very special community. We only want very special projects. We will welcome you here, but you have to do everything right. And you have to meet every one of our codes, every one of our restrictions. You have to meet our growth management plan. You have to meet the local coastal plan. You can't exceed the height limits. And we did all of that. And but really, it was the community and the council that governed and dictated sort of the shape and the form of this project. And over the 4 years, we've met with 6,000 people. I'm still down here. I met with about 200 people last night at a town hall meeting. I'm at another meeting tonight. And we continue to get input on this project, and it needs to reflect the great values and lifestyle in Carlsbad, and nobody knows that better than the people who live here. And so we learn from them, and they're the ones that really own and have designed this project.
Well, you're listening to the Michael Gaddis Show on AM 1170 The Answer, and we're speaking to Rick Caruso of Caruso Affiliated. He is the one developing the Agua Hedionda Lagoon, and Measure A is coming up for a referendum on, I believe it's February 23rd. Rick, let me ask you a question. Why do you think that there's such, strong feelings both for and against this measure?
I think, unfortunately, with a lot of projects, the opposition has taken the liberty to make up facts, to be very honest. And what we've had to do, and what we're spending a lot of time doing, is getting the facts out there for people to make a decision. If people understand the facts, and for whatever reason they decide that it's not a project they want to support, I completely respect that. But unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are making a decision on misinformation, and that's a problem. So we encourage everybody to go to our information center, which is actually where the strawberry fields are on Cannon Road near I-5, or to go to an independent source, go to the city website, Carlsbad, I believe it's carlsbad.gov, and look at the traffic report, look at the engineering studies, look at the staff recommendations, because everything that we have done has been signed off and approved by independent experts. And in addition to the fact, the fire department, the paramedics, the police independently reviewed our traffic studies and all of the studies for this project, and they've endorsed the project. And we have a unanimous vote from the city council supporting the project. So everybody who has a really vested stake in this city and this community is endorsed the project. The opposition we've tried to meet with, understand, what they are trying to accomplish. But quite frankly, there's a history that they have of fighting projects and filing lawsuits and being paid to go away, and we just don't do business that way. So we're in an election now, and we need people to understand the facts and hopefully get out and vote for us on February 23rd. It's a critical vote, but it's right for Carlsbad. It has great benefits to the local community, creates 4,000 jobs during construction, 2,000 jobs once it's open, permanent jobs, millions of dollars a year in tax revenue to the city that helps support city services and gives stability to the city and reduces ever the risk of having taxes going up in the city. And it preserves the environment, the lagoon and the open space in a very, very meaningful way.
Well, when I talk to people about this, because I've been talking about this particular development for a few months now, the opposition that I get comes in the form of two arguments. The first argument is against traffic, and the second argument is environmental. Now, I'm looking at a document here, and it says, traffic and circulation, and part of the plan says that the city of Carlsbad's mandated traffic plan requires over $9.4 million in fees and roadway improvements, which will improve traffic flow throughout the city. It says smart technology, including adaptive signals along Cannon Road and the I-5 interchange, will greatly improve traffic flow. And it also says widening of the I-5 ramps at Cannon Road will eliminate traffic backup, and separation of inbound and outbound driveways to eliminate congestion on Cannon Road. Now, so is this your plan to kind of alleviate the traffic? Is that kind of what how you would address the opposition if they were to question you on traffic?
It is our plan, and it's very well laid out what you just said, and it's very well laid out on the city website. And what the city has said, and all the independent experts have said, is when all the improvements are in, which must be installed and built prior to me opening the property for business, traffic will get better. There's actually a video of the head of the traffic department explaining that, and it will get better. The biggest stakeholders in having traffic flowing freely, police, fire, and paramedics, and they've come out and said they endorse the plan, they endorse Measure A, because it helps them with their response time. There will be less red lights. I don't think you can get a better independent endorser than paramedics, police, and fire. So traffic will get better. The opposition uses the traffic issue to scare people. But what they don't do is they don't rely on facts. And that's why we're trying to point everybody to the city's independent studies and to talk to the fire, talk to police, and talk to the paramedics.
Well, what about the environment, Rick? I read a little bit about what you guys had planned to do, restoration and maintenance of habitat areas, removal of non-native invasive plants that will allow the native habitat to reestablish and flourish, and then the utilization of best practices along with water quality filtration that will protect the lagoon and wildlife from the existing runoff. Would you say that that's enough to address the environmental concerns of the opposition?
It's more than any development is doing anywhere in the country that I'm aware of. So right now on that property, which is restricted from public use, when it rains, the runoff goes right into that lagoon, and that lagoon feeds out into the ocean. There's times you can't go in that lagoon because the pollution level is so high because of the runoff. And the runoff has also eroded the beaches along the south side of the shore. Once Measure A passes, I am required to build best practices stormwater runoff. I have to filter the water before it ends up in the lagoon, and we have to divert the water. All of the water on our property is going to be reclaimed water, so there's a reduction of potable water. We take out all the non-invasive plants so the wildlife can thrive. For the first time, you'll be able to go to the Discovery Center and actually connect to a trail and walk on the property and experience the wildlife and experience the lagoon. It hasn't happened since the beginning of time because it's been utility property. And then on top of that, a big chunk of the growth of the strawberry farming is going to now be organic. So there's going to be a reduction in the use of pesticides and an increase in coastal farming, which is good. It keeps the history of what's gone on in this area. In the property itself, we're lead standard in terms of the construction. As I said, reclaimed water, solar panels on that will support the utility, the energy being used in our common area, and then an amazing amount of additional open space within our property. And I would really encourage, if people haven't seen the properties that we built to get an idea of what we do, is to go to our website, Caruso Affiliated, and take a look at the properties. And they're beautiful, they're designed for families, they're incredibly well programmed, they're immaculate, they're safe, and they operate in a way that becomes part of the fabric of the community and allows people to celebrate friends and family in the community. It's not just about shopping, and it's not just about dining. It's having a place where the community can gather. And that's what we're so excited about doing on this property with the extension of the open space.
Well, there is one more question I know that a lot of people have about the development, at least that I personally heard. It's that, that 48 acres are zoned for commercial use. Is it possible that at some point more than the 15% of the land could be developed and 85% will not be preserved?
It's impossible because once Measure A passes, I'm required by law to donate the property to a public trust. I give up title. It can never be developed. And that was the offer we made to the city. The city obviously incorporated that eagerly into the specific plan, which will become law when it passes. And it goes away. It can never be developed. The way the property sits today, it can be. The 176 acres, which some people believe, unfortunately, they're misinformed, can be developed. You can put in civic buildings. You can put in a lot of things. Measure A restricts it completely. And it's free open space and open to the public to enjoy.
Well, let's ask another question. If the promenade is built and becomes successful, how will the sales tax revenue benefit Carlsbad, their economics, and as well as their citizens?
Well, it's going to be a great benefit. The low estimate of sales tax revenue coming out of the promenade is going to be about $2.6 million a year. Now, that doesn't include any incremental hotel taxes or the incremental benefit around of job creation. But so let's just take the $2.6 million a year. So that revenue goes to help parks, to help fire, to help police, the operation of the city. And it's good for the economy, and it helps homeowners with the stability of keeping taxes down. So you want to bring in businesses that create revenue that go directly to the city. And that's what this project does. That property will get developed one day. It's already zoned to be developed. It's already visiting commercial retail property. The real question here is, do you want a really high-quality property? And we heard from people in Carlsbad. They want great retail within their city. They don't want to drive to Del Mar anymore. They don't want to get on the freeway to go shopping. And the number one request was they want their own Nordstrom, a brand new, beautiful Nordstrom. And we've signed a lease with Nordstrom for a full-scale Nordstrom on that property. This is going to be an exquisite property, and it deserves to be a great property to reflect the values and the quality of Carlsbad. And it's going to be a place also that people can just enjoy and have an economic benefit to the city for years to come.
So just one last question before I know you have to go, but who is supporting this plan? I know you mentioned some earlier, but can you reiterate who is supporting this plan? Because I want everyone to kind of realize that, as you can listen to what Rick is saying, there's been a lot of, it sounds like a lot of planning and foresight into exactly what's going on here, and you've addressed each of the concerns that, at least from my experience, the opposition is expressing. But I know the Chamber of Commerce is definitely supporting you. So who else is supporting?
The Lagoon Foundation is supporting us, and they're in the business of just protecting the lagoon and the environment. Carlsbad Strawberry Company is supporting us. The City Council unanimously voted in support of this project. Former planning commissioners, city staff recommended approval of the project. It's on and on and on and on. The list of environmental concerns, fire, police, paramedics support this project. The Union Tribune supports this project and has endorsed this project as being good for the city of Carlsbad. So, like I said, we have an enormous amount, thousands and thousands of people that have been involved, support the project, and the people that are entrusted to do what's right for the city of Carlsbad have voted unanimously to support this project.
Well, Rick, if someone wants more information about the project, to do a little bit more due diligence, where would they find some more information?
They could go to our website. They could certainly do that. It's yes on Carlsbad Measure A, or they can just put in yes on Carlsbad A, or they can go to the City of Carlsbad website, and of course we're also on Facebook. But yes on A will get you to it also. Look it up. We have a website there. There's blogs. There's our Facebook, or you can always call our office in Los Angeles at 323-900-8100, and we'll connect you with me or someone else, and we can answer all your questions. The Information Center on Cannon Road at the Strawberry Fields is the best place to go. You can look at all the designs, all the drawings, and have all your questions answered.
Well, I want to thank you, Rick, for taking time to come on here. I know that the vote is February 23rd, and so you're telling everybody to vote yes on A. Is that correct?
We need everybody to vote yes on A, and bring your neighbors, your friends, and your families, and all come out and vote and support the future of this great city of Carlsbad.
Well, I really appreciate your time, Rick. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Really enjoyed it.
You're listening to the Michael Gaddis Show. After the break, we're going to talk. If you're looking for a house, you're definitely going to want to listen to our next segment. You're listening to the Michael Gaddis Show on AM 1170, The Answer.
Intelligent, conservative, AM 1170, The Answer.